Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Mike. This is Thailand Confidential. Every view and every click counts. I love it. But beyond that, this is just a labor of love. It's a hobby. I think that I get a lot of views and I have some beloved subscribers. Thanks everybody. And reminder, it doesn't cost a dime to subscribe, and it helps me so I can continue on doing the best I can to give you some kind of narrative and show you about Thailand and my travels. So I am going to dedicate this episode to the transition and leading up to, and then eventually in a matter of weeks be in Thailand and officially call that my home and retire. I have been working for the state of Michigan for many years, and I am thankful for that opportunity. If I hadn't have had a public sector job with the beloved government, then it wouldn't be possible for me to go. I'm 57 and I can see why a lot of people in America have to work till they're 70. I don't have an opinion. Everybody has a different story, right? And this is mine. So I'm going to share with you, especially those that are thinking about moving abroad. I've been to 12 different countries. Like I said, I'm 57, and when I was 50, once my kids were pretty much grown, I got a passport and I pilgrimaged throughout the world and investigated different spots. I was in Mexico many times and thought that someday I would move there, and that was really a hot topic. Then for whatever reason I decided to go to the Philippines because I knew it was cheap and many people from the US moved there. So I went there 9 times, and then COVID hit, and because it was an island nation, they made it real expensive. You could still go there, but it just, the airfares were like triple. So it went from like $1,500 to like sometimes $5,000 and $6,000. So I had to put that on ice. And when the vaccine came out, then some, mostly third world countries, which have very beautiful tourist destinations, Thailand had what was called the Thailand Pass, which if you could pass the COVID test off the plane, you were free to roam around. Let me tell you, I didn't think I was going to do it. I investigated it. I went there, fell in love with it, and it became my numero uno choice to retire, and I'll be there shortly. So anyways, this is kind of like what I do. I go, this is a walk because this is kind of like a weight. I'm trading hands here carrying my camera. But I run this every day. I work second shift, and some days, you don't feel well. Some days you're tired. Some days you got energy, and then, if you do it every day, just like your job, it'll take you someplace good. And here I am. I'm 57. I'm not elderly, and I'm ready for that transition. I'm ready to go, and no buyer's remorse. I took my time. I did my research. So that's lesson number 1. I see a lot of people go over there, and I hear and I talk to them, and they lack the social skills to interact with the people. And they fall in love with it because they were there for 2 weeks and they partied every night and they saw the glitz part of it, and now they're broke years later, and they move back to the rat race trying to find a job when they're 63 years old. Got to rent an apartment because they're too old to start a mortgage, and they get browbeat by all their family and stuff. Why are you back? And so on and so forth. Time and research. Listen to me. So I did 4 months there, 1 month each occasion. I traveled throughout. I've been well north of Bangkok, way out in the bush, hanging out with the monks. I've been in Bangkok one of the biggest cities on the planet. Where I'm from, Michigan, Detroit is our biggest city, and that's like less than 1 million people. And you got Bangkok that's like 12 million people. Okay, so I've been to the Tigers games, the Lions games, I've been all over. You know, I used to work down in that area, Southeast Michigan, and we can't even hold a candle to Bangkok, Thailand. So anyways, the magnitude of it is something to embrace and something to behold. So anyways, back to my retirement. I'm ready to go. I used to have a business that I'd get up and I'd do landscaping in the morning, is another reason why I work second shift. And then I'd hustle off and go to work and then come home, just beat. So my plan and process, the time part of it, was not a decision on a whim. It was not knee-jerk. I had a nice little lake house, little lake palace that I used to host 4th of July parties all the time. Was there 20 years. Raised my kids, sent my kids to a private school. They now successfully work for the government, state of Michigan, law enforcement. And so there's no basement, nor is there a need for a basement for them to move to if they run into hard times, because you know, they did the work, but I led the way. And I'm proud to say that there's all this foresight that took place, taking care of my loved ones en route to my retirement, which then takes me to Thailand. Anyways, Michigan, my home, America, the beautiful. You know, I'll always be an American. I'll always love this place. I'll I'll kiss the ground right now to prove it to you. Well, not really, because I'm in a hurry to go to work, right? Maybe later. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. This is a transition episode, and we'll take you through the steps, and I'll keep talking. I'll try not to bore you to death or go on and off topic. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey everybody, it's Mike, Thailand Confidential, continuing on with the episode about retirement. This is in real time. So I am en route. I'm taking Turkish Airlines. Boarding will start in about an hour, and then 10 hours thereafter I'll be in Istanbul. We'll do a 3-hour layover, then another 10 hours and I will be in Bangkok. Very excited, very tired, because there was a lot that led up to this point. Focusing in on retirement, it was about 2 years in the making. You can't ever do things like this on a whim. You have to be ready. It even starts way back, you know, in your career early on, where you don't know where you're going to end up, but you got to work hard. You got to put away money. You got to make wise decisions by not opening up a bunch of credit cards and landing a bunch of debt and having bad habits like drinking or gambling. You certainly want to have good, healthy relationships. So all that is a foundation. From that point, you know, you've got to do it all yourself. You got to work hard, and then you get to this point. I'm not young, but I'm 57, and that's not elderly. This is retirement age. So yesterday was my last day at work. Worked for the state of Michigan, and you know, some people are like, well, what's it feel like? You know, how is it surreal? And I'm like, well, yeah, but you know, I'm embracing it. I guess that would be my feeling. It's something that, you know, I knew was going to come here. There's no real buyer's remorse. I'm not really nervous. I'm, you know, really, you know, anticipating good things through, guess what? Years of good choices. So that'll be my future. In fact, I'll have more time to make good choices. There's, you know, finances and budget is going to be a theme for me, and not blowing money and not being drunk by noon, right? So anyways, I am excited. I'm happy. I'm tired. I'm going to be more tired, but I've done this trip many times. So as far as retirement, you got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. 2 years ago, I made up my mind, and I was like, why didn't I do this 2 years ago? Well, because you got to sell your house, you got to create your estate, you got to set your loved ones up in a good spot. I have 2 sons, and you know, they know what to do if something happens, and You know, if something happens in the States, it'll take me less than 3 days to get back, and that's part of the process. You have to have foresight about what's going to happen in the future. You know, you don't just retire as not being tired all the time. You still have energy, and you've got to think ahead, and you got to make plans and be able to react when, you know, family things and life events take place. So get this, there's the plane, check it out. That's our bird. Turkish Airlines, I will really rave about. I love it. You know, they've got, like, the food is good. They got chefs with chef hats. They make blueberry pancakes. Oh man, now I'm starting to come alive again since I've been running all day to get here. But I am here, checked in, got my boarding passes. I'm all pumped up, ready to go. But the theme again, let's get back to the focus. Focus on retirement. Yep, it's gotta be like it's got to be a plan in action. It's not something that you visit and let go and visit and let go. It's got to be kind of a drumbeat, a drip of things to come, you know, motivating towards a good outcome, you know, a happy ending and a good beginning, right? And it all comes to, you know, solid planning and, you know, being, you know, having your wits about you when it comes to financing. So years in the making. A lot of people can't do it. And for whatever reason, not always bad, and you know, whatever works for them. So I always turn the corner when I come to this gate because this seems to be the international gate behind me. But here's the Margaritaville theme. You see those fake palm trees in the back? Well, guess what? I'm heading for palm trees. Okay, well, I'll catch up to you in Istanbul. We'll give you some more thoughts on retirement. Hey there. So now I'm on that second leg of the last leg before Bangkok, and yeah, I'm tired, and boy, it was hard to sleep, cramped up and so on. Look at this airport. This is Istanbul. Man, just beautiful and scenic. Shopping. I've had really good experiences in the Middle East. I've been to Doha Airport in Qatar, and that's a good one too. But just amazing scenic place. I had to put a long sleeve shirt on because it was a little cool. I think the temperature here was about low 70s, and when I left Michigan it was freaking 90. You know, here in September, just about basically September, it was 90 in Michigan. So anyways, so back to retirement. You know, it should be, when I say educate yourself, I did a lot on YouTube, but you know, there's just common sense to it too. You have to take your time. Too many people that I've met up with in Thailand, you know, they're there for 2 weeks and it's a paradise. Well, of course, it's vacation. Why wouldn't it be? You weren't working for a living, you know? And then it was the blues when you got home. But I spent 4 one-month holidays in Thailand, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert about retiring, but that was my, you know, that's how I went about it. I got hooked up with, there's lots of forums and Facebook, expats, United States expats in Thailand. I met up with a lot of, well, not a lot, but I met up with some ex-Marines, ex-sailors from the U.S. Navy. One guy in particular, he's from Michigan. We connected because, you know, he had a Michigan hat on one day and I had a Michigan hat, and we're like, oh, you know. And so we've kept in touch ever since. Shout out to my brother Mike from Detroit. I won't say his last name. Anyways, he's really been a lot of help. We've messaged back and forth from the States and where he's at, and he's been retired in Thailand for a while. So I mean, look for some support. Look for a foundation, someone to banter back and forth to, message back and forth to. And because, you know, I've run into people that have the English language, but then it's a rarity for that. or it's Australians and New Zealanders, people from London. I mean, that's not, I mean, I just would rather talk to somebody from the US, because then we can match apples to apples and oranges to oranges when it comes to the retirement scene. Anyways, I've got about another hour. I took a couple winks. It was tough. Dang, it's hard for me to sleep anyway, but I was just so exhausted. So we'll pick it up. We're gonna talk some more about different phases of the retirement mode, but guess what? It really hasn't sunk in, but I've been retired for one day, one whole day retired. So I guess it hasn't sunk in. I'm still in actually like a work mode. Everybody's bustling, and that's what I'm used to when I'm working. So, but I am happy. I am happy. I'm happy about being retired, and I know that I made the right choice. Okay, well, we'll get into some of the choices later on when I see you in Bangkok. I'll see you in Bangkok. Okay, bye. Well, gang, yeah, you can't make it up. I'm pretty weathered. 20 hours, 20 plus hours in the air, 9,000 miles across the planet, and here I am, reduced. Everything in my world that's you know, that's valuable is right there in those two suitcases and my M Go Blue backpack. So yeah, I made it alive. I'm in Bangkok. It's now about 6:30 a.m. in the morning. This is one of the busiest airports in the world. Bangkok boasts, you know, almost 12 million people. Talk about a mega city. And you know, I did sleep well on this last leg, luckily. I always try to get seats in the very back of the airplane, so that if there's any if there's any empty seats, it's usually there. I've learned that over time. And so I go back there and I'm sitting, and guess what? I got 3 seats all to myself, and I caught up on some sleep, man. So guess what? I'm not really in a hurry mode. I'm starting to acclimate. This is, you know, basically I've lost track of the days. It's either my first or second day of being retired. So when I get to the hotel, I'm gonna check in. I got enough energy, I'm gonna have breakfast. I'm staying at a really nice place called the Emerald, right downtown Bangkok. And then I'll further go into kind of like a summary of my retirement, and then give you an idea to get you a foundation on your retirement. So here we go. Hello world, right? Wish me luck. Hey there, as promised, I'm pretty well spent. I'm pretty much on fumes. I checked into this hotel. Look at this place. It's called the Emerald Hotel. But you know, I planned on just kind of sightseeing and relaxing and staying up late, sleeping in. And you know, even though I'm tired, oh, this precious weather and the breeze I'm getting out here is just beautiful. So if you look at the landscape, all those buildings, and if you see, it's concrete jungle. I mean, how far can you see in the horizon? 10 miles, 20 miles, it's a pretty clear day. But if you look around you, I started from over there and I went over here all the way as far as the perimeter, not including what's that way that's blocking my view. Over 200 buildings that were taller than this one. At least as tall or taller, 200. Then everything that's below it. Just to behold, is just huge. Okay, so anyways, back to retirement. This is September 1st. So I was on a plane on the 30th, so that made the 31st. So I guess this is day number 3 of being retired. So this is going to be the end of this episode, and this is about retirement. But to do it successfully, listen to me. I'm going to summarize this all for you. Now, and I'm not a genius, but I feel very confident. Okay, but I spent a lot of years. You know, I worked for the government. I put stuff away. I raised kids. I still had fun, and I still had time to, go on vacation. But, I was smart about it. No excessive charging, no excessive debt, no going crazy, no stupid gambling or drinking problem. So if you maintain, a working style, working class life, a professional, in your own right, and then at the same time, you're living your life fun and wholesome, but by the rules. Doesn't mean you got to be boring. I mean, I did spend money too, but for the most part, you got to have a grand plan in your mind. If you don't plan on it, it's just not going to happen. I planned on it. When I was 50, how do I get out of work in the next 10 years? And here I'm 57, so I did it 3 years early. And it was a process. I sold my house 2 years ago. I sold my business, my house and my business 1 year ago. Sorry. And I liquidated down. I worked till as far as I could. I moved my money into high yield dividend funds. I have a online broker. I don't use a brokerage, so to speak, but transacting, stuff like Robinhood and stuff like that. It all came together, and it's still going. It's still like, you got to be very serious. You're not just sleeping in every day and drunk by noon. You keep your wits about you, and you still got to have some kind of, where you're educating yourself on the world and how to not just whittle away your savings. You don't just sit there with a bank account and start subtracting every day that you live here, because that'll happen. Man, you got to be smart. Now, I just don't need to get up and go to work and punch in and punch out anymore, or work overtime, or be forced to work overtime. Now I can take, my nest egg and not penetrate it too bad. And then, I've got a 401 and a 457 plan, and that I can tap into in 2.5 years from today. And then at age 62, I will elect to take my Social Security. So there's some phases. There's what I got now, what's going on at 59 and a half, what's going on at 62, and still leading, having fun, but a frugal lifestyle. It can happen. Now, I made this point very clear. I am a very visual person. That means that if you show me, YouTube's the best friend I ever had. Man, I learned more about how to fix my truck than I ever did my whole life, because you can't just tell me. I need somebody to show me and then show me again and show me again, Good teachers were the best motivation in my life, the ones that really were able to show their application, their lesson plan. But to tell me something over the phone, forget it. So, find yourself forums on Facebook or YouTube. Type in retirement in Thailand. Facebook expats in Thailand. Facebook visa programs. you know, there's certain ones, and I might not even get in there and get involved with it, but I'm listening to the bantering back and forth, and I'm learning stuff. I'm learning. So there's people out there, there's all kinds of retirement stuff going on YouTube, and this is kind of my 2 cents worth. So anyways, besides that, man, I'm pretty much smoked. I'm going to skip a workout. There ain't no way. I'm gonna jump in the pool again, go take a shower. This is the 15th floor. There's 28 floors, and I'm up around the 23rd. I'm up there. So anyways, I'm gonna be in Bangkok for 10 days. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the city, you know, the climate, people. I mean, down there it's really rampaging with commerce and people working and so on. I mean, but I just don't like a lot of people. Look at this. It's like 8:30 right now, 8:30 a.m. My flight came in at 6 o'clock this morning, and now I'm settled into the hotel. Everything's going good. So there you have it. There's hopefully, you know, you carried it in and, you know, listened to some of the stuff I had to say. But, you know, it's all part of good planning and doing your homework, and I showed you how. And I gave you a reflection of how I managed my retirement. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna do an episode on this hotel, so keep track of me. This is called the Emerald Hotel, so that'll be coming soon. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks.